And hello there. We'd like to welcome you into the Philly and Fred show for Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. We're going to talk about the slate, really just the three important playoff implication games. Going to have our winner and losers of the weekend, coach firings, who we pick to have the awards, and then end with true or false. But like we said, we're going to start with the slate first. And the first game of the slate was Panthers 14, Bucs 16. Philly, what were your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, we saw Panthers. Bucks. I'll start with the Bucks. Got off to a hot start, and then you kind of just saw them. Just offense kind of died down as the game started going on. Kind of how they've been the last 2 months of football season, and you saw on the Panthers side, turnovers really killed them this game. If you eliminate one of those turnovers, I believe they win this game. So yeah, Bryce Young's got to get better in that aspect, and their streak ended. They finally lost two in a row after last 10 games have been going win loss, and yeah, Bucks. That's you don't want to rely on if you just had one other win, earlier in the season, you would have been in the playoffs, but it was all up to a division woe to decide your playoff hopes. You never want that to happen. So I'm sure they're really disappointed on how this season went after they had a lot of high expectations, and although they did have injuries, you thought they would still be better than what they was. So
Yeah, it looked like Baker finally kind of got some of his magic back. He was making plays, breaking sacks, running around back there, scrambling, making throws down the field. Like he kind of finally looked like himself a little bit, even though they only scored 16 points. But Baker himself kind of looked back to himself. The Panthers, they got some bad calls against them. And, the NFL wants to be like, we don't, it's not rigged. We don't do this. We don't do that. But then when there's a game that if the Panthers lose it, that that means there's another important game the next day that people are going to watch. And then it just seems like that team gets multiple horrific calls against them where everyone online is in agreement that they're getting screwed and they've had three or four horrible calls against them. That's a tough look. And the NFL always says, "Oh, we're not rigged. Why would we do that? Why would we do that?" But then, if you get terrible refs, you get a result like this where they blow three, four calls that are horrible, and everybody online is going, "Yep." I mean, we know it's true, and we got it today that the NFL likes to rig things sometimes. But not saying it's rigged. I think the officials just aren't good at their job, and this is the result you get that they're so bad that people think it is rigged. But yeah, this was a perfect way for the NFC South to end. Two teams playing for a division, and they both end up under 500. It was an ugly game. It was terrible weather. And then the funniest thing of all that these two teams fought their heart out, and it did matter because the game the next day was going to decide who was the winner of this division, and the Bucs
hmm
won. The Panthers lost the winner go home basically, and they still got in. So that was kind of the perfect way for this division to end. Yeah, not much else to say. Not much else to say. These teams aren't really that good. So
I
yeah,
will
we'll
say
move
that
on.
that
What
OPI
about to say?
was that OPI was terrible against McMillan. It
Yeah,
was all
there was a couple like that. It was like,
yeah.
that's weird that the team that if they lose, there's another important game tomorrow is getting
Yeah.
terrible calls against them. But no, it's not rigged. But
How about the views? Yeah,
looks
crazy.
pretty terrible to me. Looks like something's up someone's sleeve. But
hmm
yeah, we're gonna go to Saturday night. Seahawks 13, 49ers 3. I mean, that Seahawks team, we said it earlier in the year that Sam Darnold has a turnover problem. He has 20 turnovers, by the way, so he definitely has a turnover problem. But when he does not turn the ball over, they're almost impossible to beat. And now they can run the ball. And Sam Darnold was playing off that with the play action. off the run game, and they had 100 and I don't know. They had a lot of rushing yards, and Sam Darnold. I mean, he was so nice off the play action with that. I mean, this game was 13-3. I don't know if it felt like this to you, but it felt like this game was probably 30-10, 30-7. Like it felt like a blowout. And then
Yeah.
when you look at the end, it's 13-3, but it looked like a blowout. Speaking of that defense, man, Tank Lawrence. I remember him when he was on Dallas, and he was an animal back there. He was impossible to block. He looks revived in Seattle because he's 33 right now, and he's doing things that he looks like now what he looked like when he was destroying tackles in Dallas. And once again, speaking of that defense, that offense had been scoring 35 plus, 40 plus. I mean, what, they had 48, 42 their last two. And I think they had 35 and 28 before that. To hold that offense to 3 points, 9 first downs, and 173 yards, they're making a run for with Houston to be the best defense in football. So yeah, that was my thoughts on that one. What were your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, Seahawks. I honestly haven't watched a lot of Seahawks games this year. Like I've had glimpses where I've turned the game on if they're in a good battle with somebody. But I mean, just watching that full game, their defense is legit. I mean, you got guys flying around the whole field. They're not allowing yak. They're getting to the quarterback. Like this defense is for real. They gang tackle. So that was kind of fun to see. I mean, this Niners offense was literally on fire, scoring on everybody, and it seemed like they was lost. Kyle Shanahan and Purdy and them guys didn't have really any answer for those Seahawks. And yeah, like you said, Fred, they got the running game going as well. Which when they do that, they can be very dangerous. Our only question really with the Seahawks is if Darnold's going to show up. Can he show up for 4 games and get them to the Super Bowl? He looked pretty darn good. You know, against the Niners. I mean, he didn't have to do much as well, uh, but yeah, that looks like a fully complete team. On the Niners side, I don't know the extent of. I know he just hurt his thumb, but Purdy. But curious to see how banged up that thumb's gonna be when they go against Philadelphia this week. So, but yeah,
Yeah, and speaking of that run game, that makes me feel better about Sam Darnold if they do have a running game like that because I know they can just play off play action. He don't
yeah,
got to drop back 30, 35 times with no play action, with no threat of the run, because that's when he gets in trouble. You get a little pressure on him. He forces the ball sometimes. He fumbles it a little bit, and then you turn the ball over 3 times, and you give the other team a chance to win. So the better they run the ball, the better I feel about how Sam Darnold can protect it. And then Sam Darnold protects it in Seattle. I don't know how anybody beats them, but maybe the Rams because we know Stafford can get hot. But yeah, that's they're gonna be a tough team. But did you see Lynch on that 3rd and 17 run?
not off the top of my head.
Oh brother, it's the GM of the 49ers. He looked like he was ready to put a helmet on, put some pads on, and show
Uh
how
huh.
CTE got creative, boy. Because they run
Oh,
that
yes, I
run and he put his
did.
hands like this. He looked like he was
Yes,
gonna
I
lost his
did.
mind.
I remember now when they showed. Yes, 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 I do.
Hey, and when I
Yeah,
say he was ready to put pads on and a helmet and show people how people used to get CTE, I believe
yeah,
that
he was hot.
because you
Yeah,
go
I
you go
remember that.
watch Lynch's highlights. Hey, head hunting. But I
Hmm.
mean that's the way it was back in the day. Also, uh Seattle's GM, I have a outfit uh I have outfit advice for you, brother. Please don't wear gray during games. Okay? Because he
Why is
wore
that?
gray and he had some horrific pit stains. And I feel it. Because I'm not gonna lie, I have pit stains a lot too and terrible things. I just don't wear gray no more. Gray or
Yeah.
white are unwearable for me. They get that patch right there, and you can't even lift
Hmm.
your arms up. And people are like, "Oh my god, are you nervous?" It's like, no, I sweat this much. Nothing, not much I can do there.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, all the games on Sunday besides Saints and Falcons didn't mean anything. We're not going to talk about those. And hilariously, Saints Falcons meant something for the two other teams in the division, not those two. So we'll go to the last game on Sunday. I mean, a contender for game of the year. Ravens 24, Steelers 26. What were your thoughts on this one, Philly?
Hey, you're the Steelers fan. You're supposed to go first, right?
Yeah, you are right about that. Oh, by the way, Philly, I don't know if you knew this, but PFF thinks Derrick Henry's the 15th best running back in the NFL. That
Well, throw PFF away. Yeah, that's dumb.
yeah, people love analytics. So I mean, hey, if you love the analytics, that means you love PFF because they think Derrick Henry's the 15th best running back. I mean, league leader, but PFF
Yeah.
no 15th best. I mean, that was the Steelers Ravens have had some great rivalry games. They've had some awesome ones. That's one of the best I've ever seen.
Mhm.
And early on, for the first three quarters, it had a feeling of old AFC North football, low
Yeah.
scoring, hard hitting, offense is struggling. And then fourth quarter, it felt like Chiefs Bills or AFC divisional game. Because I mean, the
Mhm.
offense just went insane. Lamar, I mean, he broke the one sack. I don't know how he made that play. It was third
Oh yeah.
down. We got Benton, and I can't remember if it was Highsmith or might have been a secondary guy, but two guys met at the quarterback same time. He slips out of it, throws a bomb to Zay Flowers, who had Patrick Queen on him. But I mean, I assume that had something to do with the blitz, and the blitz got home. So I can't really fault the defense for that one. The second one, you want to say, oh my God, it's a blown coverage. Oh, what's somebody doing? But it's third and inches, and they run a fake sweep to Derrick Henry. Everybody bites, easy touchdown. But before that, the defense played well, and the Ravens defense played well. And I love Lamar. I love Derrick Henry. Kyle Hamilton is the most important football player for the Baltimore Ravens because as soon as he went out, that opened middle of the field open wide up. Fryermuth multiple times open in the middle of the field. Defense looked like a completely different defense once he went on the field. And I thought that late in the game, I was like, oh my God, like Lamar and Derrick Henry are awesome. Kyle Hamilton's the MVP of that football team. He is their most important player because it feels like the other 10 guys forget how to play defense.
Mhm.
Like that, they just everything's open. They couldn't guard Adam Thielen. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was making some unbelievable throws. That looked like those last couple drives looked like 2020, 2019 Aaron Rodgers slinging the ball. Can't move like he used to, but I mean, boy, that guy he could still sling it. And then, of course, touchdown, 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 back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The last touchdown, 56 seconds to Calvin Austin. Boom. All right, we're going to kick this, or we're going to score this touchdown, make the kick go up 3. Boswell, out of all the people in the world, would not have been the Steeler, I thought. Cost us a season. Boom. Shanks it right. I'm like, oh, we're cooked. And they have the big return. Then they get it to 2nd and 2. They complete a ball. It was Ronnie Stanley, I think. Illegal formation. Boom. Somehow we get it to 4th and 7. 4th and 7, snap it. TJ Watt off the edge. Oh, this is perfect. TJ Watt to sack Lamar. Oh, he throws it up in the air. Oh, Jalen Ramsey, what are you doing? He didn't play the ball. It's almost like he went in between. Like, it's
Yeah.
almost like he wanted to pick it and knock it down, and he didn't do either of them. He catches it, and then Tyler Loop, I don't think he had missed a kick inside 50. I was sitting here looking at the TV like, oh my God. I told myself I wasn't going to care. Now I care. And now we're going to just lose in crushing fashion. And then in the same end zone that a father blessed it with holy water, he misses wide right. I don't know how you do it, but hey, I might become Catholic. I mean, I might have to. If it can give you that much success, putting holy water on things, I think I'm a future Catholic. And then Tyler Loop, boom, shank right. So yeah, that was a crazy game. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, this was crazy. I mean, honestly, both of y'all's games this year kind of. I mean, for Ravens fans, kind of tragic the way both of those, kind of ended. First one off um, controversial call with the likely touchdown, and then this one, yeah, Luke not missing anything under 50, and then yeah, the holy water got to him, goes right. I feel like Steelers are one of the like luckiest franchise I've ever seen. It seems like every single year you all have like not even one game, just a few games like this where it just goes your way. I think Tomlin does bring y'all good luck, but yeah, as far as the game goes, I mean, both quarterbacks, both MVP quarterbacks played like MVPs in this game. They provided for both of their respective teams when they needed it. Um, for the Ravens side, I mean, Derrick Henry. I mean, Pittsburgh did a good job on Derrick Henry outside of a few explosive runs. So they was good in that category. But Lamar, he looked the healthiest I feel like he has been all year, and you'd probably expect that in that must-win game. He was running outside the. I mean, he looked like regular Lamar there, and then Rodgers. I mean, Pittsburgh really never got their run game going, but I mean, they had their MVP quarterback and 44-year-old Rodgers, or however old he is. He was kind of slinging that thing. So, good win for the Steelers. And I'm sick. I fell asleep. I fell asleep literally like 7, 8 minutes in this game, and I woke up
Right
26.
before,
Yeah, right
yeah,
before the madness, literally. I woke up 26,
right
24. I'm
before,
like, what?
yeah,
Yeah. I forget the
woke
score
up.
when I went to sleep, but it was nowhere near
It
that.
was probably 13-10.
Yes, it was something similar to that. I think
Yeah.
was you all down? Yeah, or was you all down 13-10, or was that them
No, we
that
were
was
up
down?
13-10
Oh, yeah, that's right, because y'all
because
was
then they threw the
down.
touchdown to Zay. We come back through a touchdown, another touchdown to
Yep.
Zay. We throw a touchdown, and then
Right.
the
Yep.
last
I didn't
couple.
see any of that, bro. So I was sick, and I woke up, saw the highlights, and I'm like, yeah, that's what the Steelers do, man, right there. They have that luck behind
Yeah.
them, and that holy water was there for y'all. So,
Hey,
good to get y'all in the playoffs.
Heavenly Father, hallowed be thy name. But yeah, the two more things I want to talk about. Uh, hey, people, me included, but a lot of Steelers fans said Tomlin needs to be more aggressive. He's been more aggressive this year. Like you can't use that no more. He's going for it on fourth down. We went for it at the end of the half, which I think was a good like. Now the play call, not a big fan of, but going for it, you get it to the one.
Yeah.
Hey, nah, screw that kicking. Screw. Let's get in points. Let's go for a touchdown. Let's go for the win, or let's go for it all. Let's go for a touchdown. Could live with that. We went for the 4th and 1. Like, hey, Pittsburgh fans ask him, can you please be more aggressive? And I don't know if he heard it or he just knew it was time to change, but Tomlin's been more aggressive this year. Yeah, that's why you go out. He said it. Tomlin said it too about Rodgers. That's why you go out and get him for that game and those 2 drives. Because
Yeah.
he ain't been Superman all year. He don't gotta be. But now you needed him there. You're gonna need him in the playoffs for a couple. If the Steelers can keep it close, I feel good that in the fourth quarter that he may not be the best quarterback for the first 3 quarters, but you give him 1 quarter to be the best quarterback, I think he can be the best quarterback for teams he plays. Other people to shout out, Derek or Benton. I said Derek Benton. I was going to say Derek Coleman, but Benton was awesome. I mean, Keanu Benton played a big role. First round pick. Guy looks good. He's kind of struggled this year. Looked good in that game. Got a shot at Fryermuth. Couple big catches. Calvin Austin touchdown catch. I mean, Thielen. Everybody chipped in. This was an everybody in effort. Everybody needed to come together to win this. They did. And yeah, that was just his big game. And everybody showed up. Everybody contributed to the win. And on the other side, uh, 2 things about the other side. I'll talk about the Ravens. I'll talk about the decision to not run the ball. My thought on it was I at first I questioned it and then I thought about it and I said, well, Derrick Henry's fumbled multiple times. Lamar's kind of been interception prone. I get why they did what they did. Your field goal kicker is almost perfect under 50. You've seen way too many fumbles and interceptions late in games that screws you or loses you the game or puts the other team back in it. So at first I didn't get it, but I understood it the more I thought about it. What were your thoughts on that decision to take the knee instead of get some more yards?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at it just because, like you said, I mean, I feel like most of the time when the Ravens have fumbled this year in close games, it has been in the second half. So I don't mind them, going for the win when your kicker's been pretty much money the whole season. So I don't think that was a bad call. If he makes it, nobody's talking about the decision. So yeah, I wasn't mad at it.
Yeah, okay. And then the last point on this one for me, it's about the quarterback. It's about Lamar Jackson. Uh this game right here is exactly the reason I cannot stand when somebody says a quarterback has not went to or won a Super Bowl. Miss me with all that. When you talk about Josh Allen, when you talk about Lamar, stop telling me all that. Stop telling me they haven't went to a Super Bowl. Because let's talk about Lamar's. Lamar went to the AFC Championship game. His team decided to throw it 40 something times when they were one of the best run teams all year. And then also, let's add in the Zay fumble to get it to 17-14. And then let's add in last year, divisional, played almost a perfect second half. Up right off Andrews' hands to go for two and be in the AFC Championship game again. And then this year, he's the only quarterback in the history of the NFL to throw two 50-yard go-ahead touchdowns in the fourth quarter and lose a game. And then let's go to Josh Allen. Josh Allen had a 3-point lead with 13 seconds left in the divisional against the Chiefs. Team gives up 13 points or gives up I can't remember if it was 30 or 40 yards and gives up 3 points, losing overtime, never gets the ball back. Let's go to was it the AFC Championship or the divisional when they had the drop and the missed field goal. And then last year, he throws a heroic ball up to Kincaid. Kincaid drops it. That, like, this game was a perfect example of why I hate the QB hasn't won a Super Bowl or went to one because it's stupid. It's a team game. Everybody contributes. It's not one guy's fault. One guy could play awesome and they still don't win a Super Bowl or go to one. So, yeah, I also had that thought after that game as well. All righty. Any other thoughts on the slate?
No, it's crazy that we're already done with the NFL season and the playoffs are starting. I remember we was getting fantasy started, last man standing, like that. That's kind of wild. I feel like this season kind of flew by, but it's been a good one. Ready to get the playoffs started.
All righty. On to the coach firings and position openings. First, we're going to start with the surprise. John Harbaugh, Ravens. He's out. It's I got on Twitter today and saw that and was genuinely surprised. It felt like a Steelers situation where the fans wanted him gone, but the front office would just never get rid of him. But they said he had a talk with the owner. It was an honest conversation, and they agreed to part ways, which I think in the end might be one of those win-wins because he's going to get a job. They've said all 6 teams have reached out to him, so he's going to get a job, and then the Ravens might get the guy. That's a pretty great job to get. I'm not gonna lie. You got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry to build upon, so that's a great job. And I'll leave you with this. There was a. Did you see the interview after the the game, the Ravens game with Lamar?
No. Oh,
Well, he
I
asked.
saw. Yeah, I saw. If you're referring to when they was asking him his I believe something about his thoughts for next season, and then he
Yeah,
said
about
something about
Harbaugh
he was
coming
trying to
back.
process. Yeah, and he said,
Yeah,
"I'm
because
just trying to
it
process what just happened." Yeah.
yeah, you just asked me about the future, and I'm thinking about right now what just happened. And when he said that, I was like, I get what he's saying, but I mean, all it would take is a. I mean, I'd love to have him back for next year, but right now I'm processing what's going. Like when he said that, I kind
Yeah.
of sighed or kind of hit like the eyebrows. Like, wait, you, there's a real disconnect there. Like, I don't think they
Mhm.
do like it. Some of these reports might be real that there has been some tension and they don't like each other. What were your thoughts on that comment?
Yeah, like I understood what he was saying. It's like, but and I see what you're saying. Your point as well. Like if he felt like he wanted Harbaugh to be his coach, then he would have hinted that real quick in a sentence, and then like, oh yeah, but I'm still trying to process this whole loss and what just actually happened. Just a few minutes ago. But yeah, so maybe there was a little tension. But I mean, it didn't. It never really seemed like that, and it's probably not going to show out there on the field, but maybe there was something behind the scenes that we wasn't seeing.
Yeah, because Derrick Henry, they asked Derrick Henry the same thing, and he said, "Yeah, I love John, or I love Harbaugh, love to have him back."
Hmm.
Like around about, and it was about the same question to Henry, and he had a much different response. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, but Harbaugh's out, and now they're looking for a head coach, and Harbaugh's probably going to get a job uh, this year. Next firing and opening, the next firer, well, the next guy who got fired will probably get another job as well. Looks like people have reached out to him. The Browns let go of Kevin Stefanski, and this is a weird one for me to speak on because I don't know how I feel about it because you haven't won in 6 years and you haven't found anyone, but that's also the GM's fault because he traded, he got rid of Baker. He gave away a bunch of picks to sign Deshaun Watson for $230 million. So this one, and keeping the GM's wild, by the way. The GM that made the worst trade in the history of sports. It's wild to keep him and fire your coach, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this one? I'm a little back and forth on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was needed. There hasn't really been much change since you got there. You've had a few, you know, number one or not number one, but you've had a few, different selections that you've had at quarterback. Haven't really got much going with that. You got them to playoff to the playoffs a few years ago, but you just simply you've underperformed. With this team in that division. I get you're in a hard division, but I mean if you're not producing, much wins, any playoff wins, then yeah, it's time for, some new change there. And yeah, the GM probably does, or should get a little bit more fault than, he has and, just the coach. But I think Stefanski, I feel like he'll be a better defensive coordinator somewhere instead of,
Offensive.
just the whole, operation. So, oh, offense, sorry. Yeah.
No, yeah, you're good. But yeah, that's and inheriting the Browns is I don't know who's going to want to go there. That might be a new guy you're going to have to get because, like I said, you still have a quarterback on salary that's worth that much and is not playing. You don't have a young guy there. Your roster's good though. Like it's not they got some good players, but I don't know who wants to have to deal with that GM and that ownership. But we'll see. Next one, Raiders got rid of Pete Carroll. Raiders are a dumpster fire as well. Not a lot to look forward to. They got the number one pick, but I don't even know if it's worth it to get draft a quarterback because you might ruin him before he ever gets off the ground. So don't know there. And then for Pete Carroll, I'll just forget that I'll forget Pete Carroll ever coached the Raiders. I'll only think of him as the coach for USC and the Seahawks. I will put this out of my memory that he coached the Raiders.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little surprised about this. I mean, maybe not so much, but I mean, this had nothing to do with Pete Carroll. Like, he didn't construct this roster. Like, he just simply didn't have enough time with these pieces. He was kind of just set up to fail. So, I mean, I get at 70 years old, they kind of want an instant success, but that just wasn't gonna happen with the way this roster was kind of constructed. So, I feel bad for Pete.
Yeah, I didn't get this from either way. I didn't get it from Pete Carroll's point of view or the Raiders. Like, you're young and you're not good, and you're hiring a 70-year-old coach. And if you're Pete Carroll, you got to think, oh, I'm 70, I'm old as hell. I mean, I want to win now. I don't want to have a rebuild again. Like, I've already went through that. Why the hell would I want to do that? So yeah, that
Yeah.
that confused me when that happened both ways. Next one. Surprising maybe. I mean, they won 40 in the year, or 5 or 40. I don't know, something. They won a bunch of games at the end of the year. But Raheem Morris was let go by the Falcons. This is a great job, I think, because you got great pieces on in defense. They got Jesus Christ. They set the franchise sack record. They got great young pieces on defense. I mean, you obviously got your Bijan, your Drake London. I think Pitt's a free agent, but we'll see if they bring him back. But unlike the Ravens, you have the roster, but your quarterback situation is that your 38-year-old QB that you signed to 40 million, it outplayed your rookie QB, or not rookie, your second year QB who has had a season-ending injury in 6 of the last 7 seasons. So this is the opposite there. Great roster, but I don't know where they're at quarterback. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like this was maybe kind of necessary with the way you ended the season. Like, you felt like you blew a few games that you should have won, and you should honestly be in the playoffs right now, especially with how bad your division was. I mean, you have an 8-9 team that just won your division, and you finished 8-9 as well. So, I think this whoever gets this coaching, opportunity, I feel like it's best suited for like a younger coach. You can build kind of around a younger team, and I feel like that's kind of the new norm right now in the NFL with successful teams, young, young QB, um, young coach, and a lot of just young stars on offense and defense. So that's what you have in Atlanta, and this team can get dangerous if they just get the right coaching. Because I mean, they have the personnel for sure on offense and defense. So yeah.
Yeah, next one. You can go first on this one. What are your thoughts on the Giants opening?
Yeah. I mean, whoever comes here, you better just you be ready for the ride. I mean, if there even is one. Um, I don't think they'll go after a quarterback. I mean, you have Dart. I feel like it's a possibility though with his concussion, but um, yeah, whoever it is, I mean, it seems like nobody who goes to New York is like tends to have success. So I don't know a lot of people who would want to go there, but I mean, just kind of like at Atlanta, you have the young talent there on offense and defense, so they might need a younger coach. But I mean, I know New York teams, they're kind of in that win now mode. They're not, they've been kind of rebuilding for years. Not so much the Giants, more so the Jets, but still. Uh, Probably need more of a younger coach to build around those younger pieces. Because I mean, your D line is one of the best D lines in all football there, and you got the pieces on offense as well. You get neighbors back next year. You got Scatterboo, got Dart. So yeah.
I mean, that would be like the Giants though to finish what they finished 3-14, 4-13, and draft a quarterback, even though your young rookie quarterback played well and you still suck, and you have so many more holes than your young quarterback. That would be a Giants thing. But yeah, It's a solid opening. I think you got your quarterback. So rest of the roster is a lot of work, but you got one thing. Next team, they got their seems like they got their quarterback Titans. I think this might be a sneaky job opening because I think Cam Ward ended the year playing really well this year. They still got Jeffrey Simmons. They still got some guys. I think they have cap space coming up. So I think this might be a sneaky good job. You get a Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson type guy in there, and maybe he could take the steps that Caleb Williams and Drake May and Trevor Lawrence took this year. If you get the good head coach in there. So I think this is a sleepy good job and with Cam Ward and some of the roster pieces. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the same thing basically that you just said. You know, you got your QB that you just drafted. Got a nice running back, few wide receiver pieces. I feel like you can go and try to get some big pieces in the off season because you got a lot of cap space that you can clear. And um yeah, I mean, you're sort of in the division. Well, I guess now that you need to compete now with Colts, Jags ascending, and Texans kind of been been at the top since D'Amico Ryans got there. So I think Titans definitely trying to get their next franchise coach. So
Alrighty. Next one, Cardinals. Bad job. Tough opening. Somebody will take it.
yeah, this is gonna be tough for whoever goes there. This is definitely gonna be a rebuild. Like, I don't even know where you. Well, you got to start at the quarterback, obviously, but I mean, there's just so many holes in this team. I say start at the quarterback, and then you go straight to that defense. So
Yeah, not a lot to say there. That's all the firings and openings. Next, who is going to win some of these awards? First off, you can go first on this one, Philly. Who wins Offensive Player of the Year?
I feel like there's a lot of people that could be in this conversation, but I think it's got to go to Jackson Smith and Jigba. This guy was on pace really the whole season to get the record. I feel like if Seahawks didn't blow so many teams out the second half of the season, he would have definitely got this. I mean, there's plenty of games where Sam Donald didn't have 25 pass attempts, so he was definitely getting this. I feel like he's one of the most improved players. I mean, he had a huge leap from his second to third year, so. Um, I get there's guys like Bijan, Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor was up there for a minute, Puka, but I think JSN will get offensive, player of the year.
It's going to be a tough one. It's between JSN and Puka, and I think I'm going to go JSN because JSN's just been consistent all year. From the start of the year, he's just been the man. They throw the ball less than the Rams. Stafford's a good amount better than Sam Darnold. So yeah, I think I'm going to go JSN as well. I mean, he's been great all year, been consistent all year. Ain't had bad games. They throw the ball less than the Rams, and really, he ain't got no one to like bring a second corner away from him, from the double team away from him. Like Puka's got Devontae and Sean McVay's scheme. Like JSN, a lot of times it's double coverage or just he's got beat somebody and he's done it all year. So yeah, I'll agree with you there. Next one. Now this is going to be a tough one. I don't know who I'm going to pick on this one. Defensive Player of the Year. I think I'm going to have to. I think Myles Garrett's going to edge out whoever is in second place. He broke the sack record, so I think he might edge out whoever's in second place. So I'll take Myles Garrett for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I'm with you on Garrett. I mean, we've never seen nobody get, 22 and a half sacks, I believe, or 23. Um, and then
23.
this is on a defense, that started off. Yep. that I mean that started off really good, but if you think about it, like teams are running like since the Browns were in such of a deficit all year, like teams are running the ball, and the fact that this guy was able, to get the sacks at the rate he did, yeah, I think you give it to Miles Garrett.
Alrighty, next. Offensive rookie of the year is another tough one. I think it's between Shuck and McMillan. Cam Ward's probably he's in third. He's close the way he ended the year, but if I had a vote, I'd probably go Ted. Just because he did it all year. And he did it, people ain't super high on Bryce Young. The Panthers have been up and down. But McMillan was consistent all year. He was a 1,000-yard receiver. He's a big body guy. He's a 50-50 catch guy. He can run routes. And yeah, like I said, he's been consistent all year. So I think if Shuck played the whole year, it definitely would have been Shuck. But since he played the whole year, give me Tet slightly over Shuck for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. If Shuck played the whole year, he's definitely getting offensive rookie of the year. But Saints waited till they got in too big of a hole to bring the guy that they drafted second round in. So yeah, got to give it to Tet. He had over 1,000 yards in his first season in a Panthers team that's quite. I mean, they've struggled the last 6 7 years, and you come in there and you're the main focal point of the offense, and the fact that you had 1,000, plus receiving yards, with Bryce Young, who struggled through his first 2 years for the most part. Yeah, he was consistent all year, got your team to the playoffs. If he's not on that roster, they're not making the playoffs. So, yeah, giving it to Ted.
Alrighty, next. Uh, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and I'm going to go Nick. I can't say his last name. Don't know how to say it, but give me Nick, the safety from the Seahawks. I mean, dude's awesome. I think he has 56 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 11 pass deflections, an interception. Guy's 6'3", 220. Is stout against the run and can defend. I mean, that dude, I hadn't really watched him until that Seahawks 49ers game. And when I watched him, I mean, he's all over the place. He's sideline to sideline. He can guard or he can defend the pass. He's great in coverage. And he can tackle like that at that size and run at that speed with that size. Yeah, I think Schwessinger's the favorite to win it, but if I had to pick, I'd go the safety, the rookie safety from the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think Browns will have two big award winners here. I'm gonna go with yeah, Carson. That's what I'm gonna call him because I can't pronounce his last name there.
Yeah, like I said
But
with
this
Nick,
guy, I
man,
mean, he had.
good idea.
I mean, he was on a decent defense in the Browns this year, and he was the main focal point. Had like 156 tackles, excuse me. A few sacks on the season, a few interceptions, and he's just kind of flying all around the field there. But I mean, I feel like this is the least we talked about defensive rookie of the year, like in some time, honestly. Like I just feel like a lot of these candidates this year were kind of unknown. Um, but yeah, he's who stands out to me.
Alrighty, last award we will discuss Coach of the Year. And this is another tough one because there's a lot of candidates. You got Vrabel up there. You got Liam Conan up there. You got Shanahan up there. You got McDonald up there. You got Ben Johnson up there. And I don't think he'll win it once again, but I think the guy I would pick is Kyle Shanahan. Because, yes, I know they got stomped by the Seahawks. But if you look at what Kyle Shanahan's done with the injuries that have happened to that team all year, from not having his quarterback to not having his stud middle linebacker to not having his edge rusher to not having Trent Williams to not having George Kittle. I mean, to not having Pearsall cut, like everybody's been hurt. And yet they're still 12-5 and had a chance for the 1 seed. So, coach of the year, coaching through all that, all those injuries. Give me Shanahan for coach of the year.
Oh, this is very tough because obviously, I would want to go with Ben Johnson, and I think he should be getting a little bit more recognition as Coach of the Year, going from last to first, and maybe the hardest division in the NFL, top to bottom. Um, in the way he's just changed Caleb this year. But I think I'm gonna lean Mike Vrabel. Um, just what he's done with that Patriots roster. They also went. Well, I don't know if they was last year, but I believe 4-13 to 13-4. I believe this season, and Drake May looks awesome. He looks like a new complete quarterback. I mean, he. I think he's gonna win MVP. So I mean, you had a rookie running back. You kind of reconstructed that defense there. If you look at them offensively, your wideouts, you don't have a crazy amount of weapons. I mean, you got Stephon Diggs and Hunter Henry, but outside of that, you kind of got a lot of really no names and just what you done. I mean, you had a team that didn't have any losses on the road, first time in years. I think you got to give it to Vrabel, especially after the Bills have dominated that division the last 6 or 7 years, like really since Tom left. So the fact that you came in first year, won that division, second in the AFC, I think it's got to go to Vrabel. That'll be my front runner.
Alrighty, that's it for talking about awards. Last segment. Oh, my bad. Second to last segment. True or false? First one. True or false? The Falcons' job is the most attractive job opening. Uh, I'm not gonna lie. Before today, I would have said this. I made this before today. I would have definitely agreed with this and said true today, but I'd say the Ravens just because the toughest thing to do is find your franchise quarterback. And the Ravens have that, and the Falcons do not. But saying that, the Falcons are not far behind because I think they have a much better overall roster and younger roster than the Ravens. But the Ravens found the toughest thing to do, which is a franchise quarterback. And not only have they found a franchise quarterback, they found a multiple time MVP quarterback and a quarterback that no one else can do some of the things he's done. So I'm going to say false to this, but it's pretty close between the two job openings. What's your, you going true or false here, Philip?
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I'll go false, but yeah, like before today, this definitely would have been true because, like I already mentioned, like this Falcons team, they just have everything um, that you would want if you're looking, for a coaching vacancy. They have a good defense. They have a stud running back, stud wide receiver, and tight end. Still building up your quarterback, but I mean the roster is basically set there for you. But yeah, now with the Ravens opening up, I mean that's gonna be tough shoes to fill for whoever comes in there in Baltimore. But yeah, I mean you got an MVP quarterback already, got a Hall of Fame running back up there in Baltimore with stud pieces on that defensive front. So yeah, I'm gonna also go false, but Falcons, they'll be that first team for me after the Ravens.
All righty. And we only talked about a couple games. There was only a couple important games. So we'll do winners and losers. You can go first, but not a lot to pick from. But who's your winners and losers from this week?
Um, give me the. I gotta go with the Seahawks. Just the way they shut down and kudos to you. We went head to head last week. I had Niners, you had Seahawks, so you won that battle. But yeah, they just looked like I mean studs defensively. I knew their defense was good, but you stopping down one of the best offenses in their home field when they've dominated you really over the past few years. That was very impressive. So Seahawks definitely my winner. Um, Loser, I'll go. And even though they won, I'll go the Buccaneers. Can I do that?
Who'd you go?
Can I go a team that won as my loser?
Absolutely.
All right. Uh, I'll go the Bucks. I mean, just the way your season started, um, you was looking like you was gonna be at the top of the NFC, and I get you had a lot of injuries that happened, and just after that, Baker didn't seem himself. That offense didn't seem themselves, and frankly, the defense didn't either. So, um, I mean, we may see Todd Boyles fired here in a minute as well. You had a terrible division that you was in, and the fact that you blew some games at the end of the season, um, to where you won the last game, and it still relied on another team to decide your season. That sucks for Tampa Bay. So they'll be my losers.
Alrighty. Winner. I mean, since you took Seahawks, I'll take Steelers. I mean, big game, big win. The reason you got Aaron Rodgers, like Mike Tomlin said, was for that game. You got him for that game, and he delivered that game. You didn't have DK. You knew that if we win, we can get DK in the first round. I forgot to mention that earlier, but if you win, you can get DK back for that playoff game. And finally, the Steelers get a home playoff game. So, with all that in mind, the crazy game, Rodgers being Rodgers, getting DK back, having a home playoff game finally, give me the Steelers as the winner and the other side's the loser. I mean, that's a terrible loss. Lamar did everything he could in a winner go home game to take you to promised land. Derrick Henry had 18 for 128, but somehow that defense gave up 26 points to a team where the best receivers were Calvin Austin. I mean, really, if we're being honest, the best receivers is Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren. But if we're true receivers, we'll go Calvin Austin and Adam Thielen. So, and then you still actually with all that, you give up all them points, you still give up the lead, and you still have a chance to win. And like the Ravens do, they find a way to lose. They miss the kick, and you miss the playoffs. I know it wasn't healthy, but if you win that game, you go to the playoffs. You have Lamar, Derrick Henry. You can win games. But instead, you miss the kick, you blow it, you lose, and now your coach is fired, and now you don't know where you go. You don't know what's up with Lamar. So yeah, they're my loser of the week. Any other thoughts before we get out of here, Philly?
Nope.
All righty. See y'all on Friday.